So in the Frost Mage Impressions video, somebody made fun of how I do my intro for most of my YouTube videos. Hey, what's up guys? So we're not gonna do that today. We're just gonna start this video off with an awkward wave. Happy now? Anyways, I wanna talk a little bit about Arcane Mage and what my thoughts are on it in Legion. I think that is the strongest of the three specs, and I'm gonna explain why based off of their damage, mobility, and defensive cooldowns. I feel like the overall kit of Arcane Mage is really unmatched in terms of like compared to Frost, you know, because it does more damage, it's just better mobility, has an extra defensive cooldown. It's just a really overall solid spec. And I think that just by messing with it for a few days now, I would probably say Arcane is the strongest spec of the three. And the main spec I've been playing with is Presence of Mind, Shimmer, Rune of Power, Charged Up, Ice Ward, Unstable Magic, and Arcane Orb. And those are kind of subject to change, obviously, since this is just the alpha, but the main thing that I wanted to get across is the fact that you can do a huge amount of damage and really not have a huge ramp up time, which is one of the faults of Arcane in the past, is the fact that you would have to get 4 stacks of Arcane charges, and then you would pop all your cooldowns. But now, you can generate 4 stacks of Arcane charges just by simply hitting a small button named Charged Up, okay? You can charge up all your stacks, you can pop Arcane Power, Presence of Mind, with a Rune of Power or something under you, and just use your Arcane Blast and do like literally up to like 1.5 million damage if they all crit, which is crazy. And Arcane Barrage does a huge amount of damage now, as opposed to last expansion where it basically was like a tickle. So yeah, I think that Arcane in its current state is a little bit overtuned in terms of damage. I think that it does a little bit too much, but overall, I like the kit, I like the direction it's going. It's more about slowing your target and also having a lot of kiting. It sounds a lot like Frost, but Arcane is the superior version of Frost right now because Frost does not have Deep Freeze, and also the PvP talents aren't exactly final yet. So it's really hard to give a full opinion on Frost, but in its very current state, I would say Arcane is better. Moving on from that, I want to talk a little bit about mobility. I think the Arcane Mage mobility is very unique and I like it a lot. I think that it, just the way displacement works in terms of Shimmer and also having like the extra defensives to kind of fill in the gaps really makes for a solid kit. It's definitely a lot of fun to play, and for those who don't know how it works now, is you can take a talent called Shimmer, which takes away one of your ice block charges, so you only have 1 ice block, and then you can use 2 blinks, and it's on a 15-second recharge timer, so every 15 seconds you'll get 1 of those blinks, but you cannot blink out of stuns anymore with Shimmer. And what's cool about Shimmer is the fact that you have an ability called Displacement now, okay? So Displacement, for all you League of Legends fans out there, it's like whenever you LeBlanc W off away and then you can teleport back, you can actually like blink forward, and then you can teleport back to that blink, like that first spot area, which makes for a lot of really cool mind games. And if you're good at it, you can definitely bait cooldowns out like Chaos Nova, the 5-second AoE stun, or like leg sweep from monks. There's a lot of really cool abilities that you can bait out just by using your Shimmer and your Displacement just to mind game people and like juke them out and stuff. So I think it's really cool, and I think that it's very unique and fun to play with. It's definitely messing with people's minds, I've noticed from the duels that I've been playing, and I definitely look forward to that mechanic staying in the game. So I definitely hope that does not get changed. I like it a lot just how it is right now. I think it's fair because you gotta trade off, you know, if you take Shimmer, you gotta trade off the whole like blink out of stuns thing. And then Displacement's also on a cooldown. There's one talent that like prolongs the duration of a displacement, so prolongs like how long you can displace back to that blink by like 20 seconds or something. I don't really see the point in that talent. I don't think that in any second or any moment of the game I would ever be like, I would blink and then like 35 seconds later I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna blink back now. 35 seconds ahead of time, I thought of that plan. I don't really see myself doing that in many arena matches, so I'm not so sure about that. But that combined with the double Frost Novas you can get with Ice Ward, and then you can have the permanent slows, the mobility is really unmatched, and I think that it's really cool how they set it up. So good job, Blizzard. And last but not least, I want to talk about defensives, because defensives have been one of the issues for Arcane Mages in previous expansions, because it really didn't match up with Frost, since you know, in the past, Frost had Cold Snap and that gave you 2 ice blocks, whereas Arcane in previous expansions only had 1 ice block. And now they have the option of getting 2 ice blocks, which I wouldn't recommend because Shimmer's probably the best talent, as opposed to getting 2 ice blocks, which you can like choose one or the other. And then there's also an ability called Greater Invisibility. And this used to be a talent choice in pretty much every expansion for Arcane Mages, where you could take basically a vanish, right? This invisibility that instantly goes off and then also gives you a 60% damage reduction once you're knocked out of that invisibility. Well, that ability now is baseline for Arcane Mages. So every single Arcane Mage has that ability, no problem, no questions asked. And I think that's very cool. I think that it adds a lot to the game in terms of how Arcane Mages can defend themselves, and it's not just like pressing Ice Block when you get low, it's more of a vanish which can really be used offensively or defensively and be very proactive with that ability, which I think is healthy for the game because it makes you think. Weird, right? Thinking. It makes you think about what exactly you want to do with the ability. What kind of plays can you pull off? Do you think you can get an invisibility off and trick your opponent into thinking that you are like, I don't know, just trying to play defensively, but when in reality you could go for a crazy sheep or something? I don't know. There's so many ways that I'm sure you guys will see if the ability stays in the game, which I feel like it will. There's so many different ways that you guys will see over time with Arcane Mage players in the future. So yeah guys, that does cover it for my first impressions of Arcane Mage in the Legion Alpha. I hope you guys did enjoy me going over offensive, defensive, and mobility of Arcane Mages. I think the class has a lot of potential to be the strongest mage spec in the current state of Alpha, but that could always change because there's the beta, there's the live release, there's multiple builds of the Alpha and beta. There's a lot of changes to come, but I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, please be sure to give a big thumbs up to the video and also subscribe to my channel for future Legion content. I'm releasing a ton. I have so many videos to cover with you guys, whether it's Demon Hunter, Fire Mage, Frost Mage, Arcane Mage, Elemental Shaman, or future classes. So thanks for watching everybody, and I will see you all in the next video. Cartoons out.